double the revenue with the same exact number of people that you're already working with. How would that change your business? That will probably triple your profits. That would change your life with no more work. Welcome to Gym Owner Freedom. I am Scott Carpenter, and I am a former broke, struggling, frustrated, and overworked gym owner that felt stuck no matter what I did to try and improve the business. Once I realized that the answer wasn't what I thought it was, just getting more clients, and after really doing the math on acquisition and churn rates, I realized I wasn't even playing a winnable game to begin with. With my current price structure, mathematically, there was no way I could afford to pay my staff so I could scale up and out of the business, that I can have the time, the money, the impact, and the freedom that I always knew I was capable of. Once I learned how to add value by selling transformational programs to people who needed more than just workouts, everything changed in my life. Today, I own 6 gyms that all run without me, and I am free to pursue my passion projects and work just because I love to, not because I have to. And if that's a goal that we mutually share together, then this is the show for you. I'm going to teach you the framework to make way more money with less clients and open up a world of possibilities to you. Subscribe, leave a review, and tune in every week. It'll change your life. I promise you that. Hey, welcome to my training on how to scale a massively profitable gym that can run without you. My name is Scott Carpenter, and there is a very, very good reason why you should invest the next several minutes in watching this presentation to the end. And I'd like to share that with you. So why should you invest this time? Well, first off, the most important thing that you need to know about me is that I actually retired in my 30s for my gyms. I love my life now. I get to choose how I want to spend the time and the projects that I want to put my energy into. I get to travel. I have vacation homes that I also Airbnb. And it was all because I actually own 6 gyms and still do. At the time of this recording, it might be 7 or 8. There's a 7th in development along the way. What I want you guys to know, I am not a guru. I am not a marketing specialist promising you 100, 200 leads a month. I actually own these things. I have been through this. I'm coming up on 11 years of ownership. I actually open up my profit and loss statements to share with you. I have multiple gyms that are different locations, location names now, because I've made so many mistakes in the past. It is unbelievable. And some of them that were nearly fatal and crippling. And I have been through this. I have done all the different models of large group and semi and one-on-one nutrition coaching. I have made an incredible amount of failures, but along those ways, I've gotten really lucky and had some amazing epiphanies that have allowed me to build an amazing business that gets me to lead the life that I want. And that is something that I'm very passionate about sharing with other people, because we work so damn hard as gym owners and most of us struggle. And I pulled up a couple P&Ls that you can see here, and I'm not cherry picking the best month or the best quarter. I pulled up last year, 2022. I've got one gym here that's averaging just shy of $50K a month, and one gym over here that's what, little over $40K a month, right? But what you'll notice on these things, if you look at the profit, the overall profit that goes to ownership is over $300,000. And this place is probably 2,100 square foot on the left, and the one on the right is 240 grand in profit. And that one is, which one is that? I don't know. That one's probably the one that's 2,500 square feet. But the important thing on both of those, I don't work in either of those. I don't do sales. I don't do management. I'm not on the floor. I don't even know half the employees there. Okay. The main thing is, it is actually possible to build these gyms like an actual business where it doesn't rely on you working in there 30, 40, 50 hours a week to make it happen. And that is very important for me, because this is how my gyms are now. That is not how they used to be. Not how they used to be at all. When I started, I was broke. I got seller financing. I had a little bit of savings. My credit was a disaster back then because I'd made mistakes when I was younger. This is a bill of sale for the car that I was driving when I just had my first location about 10 years ago. And This car, as you can see, I purchased for $2,300. It did not even have a front bumper. I was broker than broke at this point. And I did make some headway. And I did get into multiple locations way too early before and it nearly broke me, nearly sunk me. I can't tell you how many weeks and years I was working 60 plus hours a week while trying to raise my young family. You can see a picture of my firstborn son here. That was when things were at their all-time worst. I was trying to get married to my beautiful wife, Nicole. And if you can look at the picture, look at her ring finger. You can't see the stone in that thing. It was so small. And we are literally taking our wedding party to eat afterwards. We rented this little space. There was like 12 of us, and we took them to eat at a Mexican restaurant afterwards. That is how much we struggled. Thankfully, she didn't marry me for my money. Otherwise, that would have never happened. But to me, I have been through all this, guys. I have been through the worst. I've been through threats and lawsuits and people leaving and opening up competitive spaces a mile down the road. Been through all that. To me, freedom is everything. That's why we became entrepreneurs. We want to be free. Ironically, though, this is some of the hardest things that we could ever imagine do that's imaginably possible. And it's freedom really eludes us. And this, I consider freedom not just making a bunch of money. Now, financial freedom and security so you can sleep at night is massively important. And so you can give the opportunities to your family that they deserve. But the time to enjoy it is also really important. If you're just making money, you have no time to enjoy it, you're not really wealthy, are you? And then the last thing I include is making an impact in people's lives. A lot of times we got into this business, the fitness business and the business of helping people because we made a big change as a result of health and fitness. And we want to share that gift with other people. It's hard. Most of our clients don't value us. And so time, money, and impact, that's everything that goes into the feeling of freedom that we want. But there's one thing that changed the game for me and allowed me to go from really struggling and wishing I never got into this business in the first place to absolutely living the life of my dreams. And the one thing I want you to know before I share this entire secret is I did not want to be a business coach. I find this space to be quite often, not everybody out there, but inauthentic. I feel it to be manipulative, slimy, false impressions. I did not want to get into this space because my Facebook feed probably looks a whole lot like yours. My DM inbox probably looks a whole lot like yours. And there are some good people out there. There's some good people, and sometimes their solutions are great, are good, and sometimes they don't cut the mustard anymore. And then there's a bunch of people who are just the pretenders and just trying to get your money. We've all been duped by those. I didn't mean to get into this position. I started helping out a few gym owners who started seeing the success I was having with these changes that I made that I'm going to share with you. And they asked if I could help them. And I said, I don't know, but I had these calls set up to train all my different mayors, as I call them, in my locations. Why don't you come into those? I'll help see if I can help build this into your specific business model. And they crushed it. They crushed it. And it changed their lives in such a remarkable way, to the point then where referrals were coming in. And I was called to do this. And I'm so thankful that I did because I love it. It is the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. And instead of me just talking about it, I want you to hear this quick clip from Lauren, who I worked with, one of the first people. Listen to what she has to say after just 4 weeks of us working together.
Hey, you guys, I am still kind of new to WhatsApp. I don't know how to create a group on there. So I'm doing it via this message, and it's so important for me to just thank you guys so much. I'm super emotional right now because in 9 years of business, I've never felt this type of freedom. And it's just really important for me to say thank you, because I truly can say that for the first time in 9 years, I feel free. So anyways, I'm just very grateful that you guys have had the boldness to create a program like this, because it feels amazing. And I'm just very, very grateful. And I wanted to express that. So thank you again.
That's the reason that I'm making this video right now. That's the reason that I do what I do. And I continue to work and put my time and effort in this because this is important. A gym owner for 9 years that was struggling. She came to me in tears. She's like, I've tried everything. I've hired everybody. I can't keep doing this. And I'm not going to dive into her personal story with her husband and her 2 kids, but man, this can be really hard on a person's life. And if I can get people to the other side, or maybe you're doing well, but you're just unfulfilled because you know you're capable of so much more and you want so much more out of life, you can do it. So I'm going to share with you that what exactly helped me do this in my business. Now, many of you are familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant. So, if you're watching this video, you're likely not an employee. You're likely self-employed or own a business. The S to the B, though, is tricky because we have a service-based business. It's tough to get these things to run without us, at least for a long time. There's a lot of mistakes that can be made. But this is where we start to get freedom. Because if you're self-employed, if your business relies on you, you're still in this quadrant. If it relies on you in a big way, you're in this quadrant where you're trading your time for money. Now, when you develop this as a true scalable business, now you make money with the systems that you have created and the people running them. That gives you leverage to make money when it's not your direct time input. And we need to shift more into that. Then, as you guys know, the last stage is moving towards an investor, letting your capital, your network, grow your wealth and make money for you. That's the last step, right? But the main thing is this is the key to making the money and having the time to enjoy it, right? And here are the 4 steps to freedom. It parallels very well. Yeah, you got to launch your business, right? And a lot of you are in the grow stage where you're making more money by more effort, right? And you are trying to leverage some simple systems. Then you get into the 3rd stage, which is scaling. This is where you're making more money by working the same or fewer hours. This is where you're getting leverage with your people and your systems. And a lot of our businesses really struggle to grow or scale because we have some fatal flaws in what we're offering in our price points. And we'll get into that in a second. But the last stage number 4, so you go launch to grow to scale to freedom. And scale could also be multiple locations, right? It could be adding an online coaching business on top of what you're doing, right? So there's different ways to multiply your revenue without your time when you do it correctly. The end goal is to go into the 4th stage, which is freedom, right? This is where you're building and living your ideal lifestyle. This is where you're creating indestructible wealth and financial security for you and your family. This is where you're only choosing to do the projects or do the work that you choose to do, not because you have to do it, because you want to do it. That is a very powerful place. But that's the ideal, right? But the reality is 98% of gym owners are stuck or struggling. And why is that? So the reason why that is because everybody's out there teaching the same kind of model. It's a volume-based model, right? You have market rate prices and you just got to drive volume. And you always, what does that result in? You guys know this. You always need more members. If I just get to X members, I'll be good. If I just get to Y members, I'll be good. But you're never good. Why? Because in order to do that, you're going to have more ad costs for that acquisition, right? You're going to need more staff to service it. You're going to have more problems. You need more of the space and expenses, and you get more complaints. It's very wearing, right? This is the recipe. This is what I used to do. It's what everybody else did, and it led to burnout, right? What I figured out how to do, instead of competing and making me totally reliant on volume, which is very susceptible to changes in the market. Things are different post-pandemic. Volume is lower. Churn is higher. People are staying less. It's harder to get people in the door, right? I don't have to rely on volume. I can make more money with fewer clients, right? So I found a way to increase my price, not for everybody, so don't panic, okay? And have a lower volume. So I need less members, less staff. I have fewer problems. I have smaller spaces. I have less admin expenses, ad costs, churn, complaints, everything. I only end up really having to worry about my dream clients who are happy to pay me the money every single month. That makes a lot of problems go away and is an insane way to grow a business. Less is more. And no matter what your model is now, I'm not saying switch your model from group to anything. Absolutely not. You can do this in any given model. And I'm going to show you how to make way more money with the same number of clients you already have. Fair? So the first thing I want you to realize is like how much your own success works against you. So volume taps you out. If you have 100 members and you lose 8%, you have 8% churn every month, you need to sign up 8 new clients just to prevent from sliding backwards. Okay. Now, let's say you grow that to 200 members. You need 16 clients just to maintain where you're at and not move backwards. And this is why we struggle so much. Your own success works against you, and it gets harder and harder and harder. Basically, what happens is you're going to reach equilibrium in your market. Okay. No matter what you do, you're going to reach equilibrium. Now, it could be higher or lower depending on how great you are at acquisition or how terrible you are at acquisition and how great your service is. But at the end of the day, you're going to reach this somewhere as a mature club where acquisition and churn are going to cancel each other out. Now, what that leaves you in terms of revenue and in terms of your profit, that could leave you short. And we're always fooled in this game. We're like, okay, I just need to get X more members and I'll be good. And how many years has it been where we're thinking about this? Most of you are just not even playing a winnable game. And you're struggling and struggling and struggling. And it's just like all this extra work, the juice isn't even worth the squeeze. And you just kind of settle. You had these high hopes and aspirations for your business, and now you're settling. And that is so common. The problem is just mathematically, a lot of you aren't playing a winnable game. But there is a way to really break through that glass ceiling. This is what changed the game for me years ago when I figured this thing out and has enabled me to do everything in my life that I wanted to do. It all comes down to price, because you're going to hit equilibrium. And that price is super important, and it makes everything in your business easier or unnecessary. A lot of times we just focus on these micro things to add little slivers of extra revenue or profit. Juice isn't worth the squeeze in a lot of that stuff. And now we're chasing our tail, focusing on like 9 different things that don't really matter. You would laugh at how simple my businesses are. They're the easiest things to run. And that's one way I've been able to scale and duplicate these things. Okay. But price is so important to bring to the next level. Now, I don't want you to panic and be like, well, people in my area, there's no way I could raise price. I'm not asking you to raise the prices on current people. And I'm not saying I want you to go just charge more for the sake of it. Okay. You're going to learn how to do it the right way. And take a look at this. There are 3 types of clients that are going to come into your gym. Number 1, they have a strong pain or desire to change. Number 2, they don't have as strong a pain or desire, but they really want to get in great shape or the best shape of their lives. Okay. And number 3 is, hey, they just want to come in and get some workouts. They couldn't care less about weight loss or anything like that. Right. So number 1, these people are like, they really need to change the direction of their life. And the reality is most of you are doing a great job on number 3, providing amazing workouts and an amazing community. Awesome. Right. That is not most people coming in the door. I don't care if you're boot camp or CrossFit or traditional strength training. They're not coming in for that necessarily. They're coming in to make a change. And they're either in buckets 1 or 2. But a lot of times we're just giving them workouts. Maybe you're giving your nutrition coaching for free because you think it adds value and helps you sell. It's a waste. You know, those people don't value it. It's like pulling teeth to get them to change. Maybe you offer some nutrition coaching, but you're having a hard time selling it, or it's not that effective. That's super common. But the reality is most of ours are crushing it in number 3. And really, we don't even have an offer for 1 for 99.9% of you. And you're half-assing your number 2 because you don't know how to do it well. So when you can supply solutions to all 3 people coming into your gym, that's when everything in your business will change. I can promise you that. This is the easiest way to double your revenue. Double your average client value, what the average client pays. Okay, so if you got 100 members at $200 a month, your ACV is $200, right? You're doing 20 grand a month. Well, imagine this. Imagine if you still have 100 members, but your ACV is 400. Now you're doing double the revenue with the same exact number of people that you're already working with. Let that sink in. How would that change your business if you still have the exact same number of clients you have right now and your revenue doubles? That will probably triple your profits. That would change your life with no more work. And I'm not saying double your prices everywhere. That's not it. I'm saying with these different offers, number 1 and number 2 will offset number 3 so much you can double your average client value within months. very, very quickly. This has been done over and over and over and over. Now you're not reliant on volume and getting to X clients. That is the fastest way to double. Okay, it's really about making more money with less clients and making more impact with them along the way. So this is how you can quickly add $10,000 to $30,000 in monthly revenue. Okay, we're going to go through the framework right now. Number 1 is build. Number 2, sell. 3, fulfill. 4, renew. It really comes down to building out your 3 core offers, right? For those 3 different people, your high, mid, and low ticket offers, and integrating them into your business. Then I'll teach you how to sell, fulfill, and renew these things. So we're going to blow through this. Pay attention, make some notes. Okay, number 1, build. How do we build out these high, mid, and low ticket offers for these different people? How do you integrate these into your existing business model? So remember, we've got our 3 different types of clients. The ones who have a strong pain or desire to change, they need help. They need somebody to take them by the hand and show them how to build these habits into their lives. They need somebody to inspire them, to work with them. That is your mentorship offer, okay? We do ours in 9 weeks. Now, number 2, what if somebody wants to get in great shape? They have body composition goals. They want to lose weight, but they don't have that strong pain or desire. They don't have a bleeding neck issue that they're desperate to solve. Okay, that is your nutrition and accountability offer in addition to the workouts you supply. Okay, and it's similar, but just not all in as people who have that strong pain or desire. Okay, but that's number 2. And hey, some people are coming in. Hey, I don't care. I just want to move and sweat and have some fun. Cool. That's your workouts only. Now, I want to be clear. The way you do the workouts in any of these, it doesn't really matter. If you do large group or small group or semi-private or one-on-one, you can have these 3 offers for each one, right? You probably have large group and one-on-one or something like that. You'll have an offer for each, offer for each, offer for each. This works in any business model. It doesn't matter. As long as you have people that have a desire to change or get in best shape of their lives, which you do, this will work for you. Okay. So a lot of times the people who need this mentorship, like a 9-week mentorship, this will be $2,000 to $8,000. Okay. $2,000 to $8,000. That's not a typo. That's what we do every single day. Gyms around the world do this, even in bad areas. Okay. These people need a program to change. It's very important. Some people, though, maybe can't afford that, or they're just not all in. That's when you want to have a great mid-ticket offer. A lot of times this will be a 6-week nutrition accountability, $5.99 to $14.99, depending on your business type. And then, number 3 is what you're currently doing, just giving workouts, right? And a lot of times those can be at your current rates, or a lot of times because you're price anchoring so high that even if they're not a good fit for 1 or 2, by the time you look at number 3, it looks like a no-brainer. And you can raise those rates without blinking an eye. And don't worry about your existing people. Keep them happy right now. There's time to figure that out. But for your new people, by the time you show them a program at $4,000, be like, no, I just want you to start here. You know, maybe your group rate's $149. You're like, I'm taking that thing to $220. People do it all the time. Okay. But those are the 3 offers that you're going to have and need to have. Now, this will integrate into your existing business model. We work with cardio kickboxing places. We work with CrossFits. We work with one-on-one PT studios. We work with semi-private PT studios. Overlapping personal training. Okay? Overlapping personal training is what I run. I won't get into this in this particular training, but it is one of the most advantageous models you could ever have. Online coaching. A lot of the gym owners we work with have now retired from their gyms. They still want to grow. Maybe it's another location. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's an online coaching business. This is the same product you can sell. The only thing is different is the fact that you're sending them the workouts instead of they're coming to you for the workouts. That's it. But this will work in any business model. Okay. Lauren, she's who I shared that audio clip. So if you're wondering like, nobody's going to spend that in my area. Well, take a look at, she's in Ruston, Louisiana. The median household income there is as low as it gets. It's less than $35,000 a year. Okay. She was so scared to do this. But if you look first in her message, first PC, that's perfect consultation done, and I'm sweating, but 2K transformation sold. In her very first one in that area, and she was scared shitless to do it. Okay. That was her involved in her group. The workouts were done in her group for her transformation program. She had an executive program that was the one she did for one-on-one training. That's at $4,500 for her 9-week program. And The very next message was she sold it for $4,500. She sold her next 3 at $4,500. In her first 4 weeks, she brought in $18,000 in new business in her first 4 weeks. And it forever changed her life. And that's what her message was about. For the first time in 9 years, I feel free. I know it seems crazy that you can do it this quickly, but when you do all the right things, it is absolutely 100% possible. And people do it over and over and over. So we have to build these offers and integrate them into your business. Number 2, we have to sell them. Okay. So 2 parts in this one. Acquisition. Acquisition is tough. You need to bring people into your doors. Then you need a sales system to be able to train, to be able to sell something at this rate where you feel comfortable, beyond comfortable, where you have conviction and you know that this person needs this product. That's when things can open up for you. So let's first talk organic acquisition. So the single biggest missed opportunity that people have is organic acquisition. People just don't know what the hell to do to bring in people into their doors other than paying for Facebook ads, which is not the most fun way to go about it. Okay. We have a very strong, that we teach an 8-week organic content acquisition strategy. And the idea is you need to just attract, you don't need high volume on this. You're not going to pull in 30 leads a month for the most part with organic acquisition. But can you bring in 10 that are super high quality, amazing candidates for high ticket mentorship programs? Hell yes, you can. You don't need everybody. You don't need all those marbles. You need a magnet to just pull a few ones who resonate with your message, who are ready to change, who are going to be your dream clients and happy to pay the money. Okay. So this is where Will Schiller's on our team. We hired him, God, I don't know, over 2 years ago. He's an amazing acquisition coach for organic methods. And he actually writes our content using your gym and personal profile and your email list. Here are the exact posts and emails that you need to make every single week to draw and attract these dream clients. And the results are amazing. It's literally done for you. You don't have to sit and think about what's going to work. That's what we're all doing. We post because we think that's what we're supposed to do. And none of it really works. This works. Like Corey Willis, like Shannon Logan on here, like Joey Scafidi. God, even better. Look at Hugh. Hugh was on his way out of business. He'd been working with a mentorship for a year and a half, struggled, been slowly going down. He's doing all the right things. He's investing in a mentor, but he just wasn't working his area. And he's in a tough area. He's in Baltimore, not a really wealthy area with a lot of competition, ironically. And he was having a really hard getting people in the doors. Okay. But even just after one indirect post that he made, he'll have 5 discovery calls today, make that 7, just got 2 more calls. And this was live as it was going. So let me tell you how this has worked for him. Organic acquisition has worked for him. He was under 10K a month. He was around 8, 9K. He does group and PT. He came to me and he was 2 months behind on rent. We talked 5 months before he wasn't ready to implement our programs. Called me. He's like, I got to do something or I'm out. And it was a very, very tough conversation. We didn't have much wiggle room when you're behind on rent. And there's no money to do ads. Okay, so we had to go all in on organic contact acquisition. And Hugh did everything he needed to do. And this is what he did. In his first month, he had his all-time best month ever, coming from his all-time worst month ever. Okay. By his second month in doing this, he finished at $38,500 in revenue. Life-changing for this guy. Life-changing. He is confident he's in control of his business, and he is just starting. He didn't spend $1 on ads. He didn't do anything different besides implement this framework to a T that I'm taking you through right now. So organic acquisition is everything. Here's a text message where he hit 35K for the month. He finished at 38.5, but it was 3.5x the month before we started with PTL. So in 2 months, he 3.5x'd his business. And he says, I told Will, it's the first time I've been able to breathe in 3 years owning a gym. That is fucking amazing, guys. This is why I get so amped up to do what I do. So, because again, I have been there. I have been to the point where like, I can't pay rent. I can't pay rent this month. I need to find out something else to do. Okay. We've been there before. So yes, paid ads. Yes, this works well with paid ads. We're not going to get into that today. I don't even, for most of you, that's not even where you need to be starting. You need to really master organic content acquisition before considering doing paid ads and getting more leverage there. The second part of this is learning how to sell this thing. Dave Best is my partner. He is somebody that really helped shape this sales process. And he builds the most confidence and conviction in people that I've ever seen. I nicknamed him the Kool-Aid Man because you talk with him, you feel like he can just run through brick walls, right? And he's the one who teaches. We've developed together an amazing sales system with a discovery call, with a perfect consultation that does so well, and really pitching your program from your heart with conviction. And your mid-ticket offer is such a no-brainer when you position it right, because you price anchored so high with your high ticket. You'll just crush it, even if you're weaker at sales. But he has done an amazing job. He's brought in over $2.5 million in sales himself. In his first month in doing this, he did over 40,000. And it started because, again, I've got multiple locations. This works so well at one location that we taught everybody at the other ones. And on the left, you can see there's a team of some of my rock stars and some of their monthly new business. This is not total business, the 27,000, the 51,000, the 20,000, the 23,000. That's a new business package revenue for whatever April that was, maybe last year or so. But that's what we can regularly do with this kind of sales system. And it's not just us. Matt Chenard, he runs a CrossFit gym that got really hammered by COVID. He did 30 grand in his first month, and most of it was from his GM, who also went through our training. And that is 30 grand in your first month is not atypical. I could have shown you somebody who's done 50, somebody who's done 60, right? Jared Stillwell's a killer, but like 30? Yeah, that happens quite often, guys. That happens quite often. Even if it's 10K that you brought in your first month out of thin air, would you be disappointed? Probably not. So Joey Scafidi is a really good example of somebody who's not confident at sales, not confident to charge those rates. He's never charged anything more than a CrossFit membership at $120-something a month. Never sold nutrition, never sold PT. He was scared and not confident with it. So he sold a lot of the mid tickets. And he was able to do that because he's price anchoring so high with the high ticket. And he sold a lot of the mid tickets, did 14,000 in his first month. But it also, look down there, he was also somebody that was in trouble. It more than doubled his monthly revenue and took him from staring bankruptcy in the face to having hope for the future and feeling optimistic for the first time in a long time. Fast forward though, 2 months, this is probably November, in 2 months, by January, he's got enough reps in with our sales training where he's got confidence, he's got conviction. He went 4 for 4 on January 2nd, sold 1 at $4K and 3 at $2,000. So he's getting the high ticket stuff now, okay? Changed his life. The third part, so we got build, sell. Number 3, fulfill. So it's like, okay, I get it. I see the value of price. I don't know how to charge that. I don't have a program. I don't have a high ticket mentorship. I don't have those things. Cool. Let me walk you through how we do it, okay? So we developed the 63-day transformation. It is the simplest thing, okay? I struggled to build anything that I could scale. I've been in this business a long time. I worked for Lifetime Fitness. I'm coming up on 11 years on my own now. And anything I would try and build, it fell apart when I tried to hand it off to other people. They couldn't retain them or had the organization, all that kind of stuff. And it just didn't work. This has been perfected over so many years. It works to change people's lives. It changes who they are and their habits and what they do every day. And they do the difficult things just like you do. You move, you get your workouts in, and you eat well, right? And you don't feel like you're missing out on anything, right? You can help other people make those changes too. This is the ticket to doing that, okay? This is a 9-week program. It is simplified. Anybody can do this. It is completely scalable. It's everything you need, and you can customize it or white label it for your specific business. A lot of people will just keep it the 63-day transformation. A lot of people will swap their logos in on it. Totally fine. We give this away to every single person we work with because we don't need you wasting 100, 200 hours trying to build out a program that's not even going to work anyways. It's 100% free, okay? But that is it. It's so stupidly simple. So stupidly simple. Behind the curtains, okay, what it is basically we are giving them the habits they need with their specific individual obstacles. And we build in the habits, basically, what do they need to do every day and week to get the results they need to become the person that they want to become. And we have a one-on-one onboarding to build out their perfect week. And weekly, we meet with them over Zoom. You can do it in person if you want. No more than 15, no more than 20 minutes. Okay. You celebrate what went well. You looked at where they struggled. Based on where they struggled, you give them one key action item so they can make it easier to implement with their life and their obstacles. That's it. It's so stupid simple. It's 15 minutes once a week. That's how we're able to charge these rates. Where if you broke it down into sessions, they're like $111 a session for a semi-private, right? Or an overlapping PT. It's insane the power of what this does. This changes lives like crazy. The impact you're going to have, you have no idea. And this leads really well into 4. You have to renew these people, okay? One of the biggest pieces of hate that comes my way by naysayers who say that doesn't work is because they're saying is like, hey, that's great that you can get that much money and everything, but like, who's actually going to be able to renew on something like that? The answer is a boatload. The answer is over 90%. And you're going to convert them into clients that are 6 to 12 months. There's a very specific way you have to do this because, to be honest with you, we actually sucked at this when we first started because we didn't know. This is brand new. We didn't know what we're doing. People got such good results, they felt they were like fixed, right? Now, they continued with our training only and our workouts only, but we wanted to get them going in some type of mentorship moving forward because after 9 weeks, you're not ready to fly completely yet on your own, correct? So we developed an amazing system, okay, where we set it up at week 5. We prepare for an amazing week 6 to have an amazing coaching session where they acknowledge all the changes that they've been seeing. They start talking about, hey, what was that problem you were having before you started with us, right? A lot of these people, guys, if you forget, they struggle every single day with how they look. They change their clothes 3 times on a weekend because they don't feel comfortable and they think they look fat and embarrassed in front of their friends, right? This is how it affects people. They really do need to make this change. And so we get them to share their story with us. You know, what was that problem you had before you started with us? What did that frustration feel like as you tried to solve that problem again and again over years? Started this program or tried that diet and stopped. And right, what did that frustration feel like? What was different about your journey this time? What kind of changes have you seen already in your journey? And how is it impacting your life? Right? We're getting this amazing, and we hit the record button over Zoom. This is going to be one of your best marketing pieces because afterwards, you're going to hit them with, so, you know, what would you say to someone that's on the fence about starting this program? And it's the most amazing testimony that you're going to use in your marketing. Okay. And the cool thing is you just got them telling you about how they struggled with this for the past 3 years, 15 years, 20 years, and how bad it was before, how positive it has been. Here's how they're changing. Here's how it's impacting their life. And then you said, look how far you come after just 6 weeks. Imagine where you're going to be doing this in 6 months. Imagine we're going to be a year from now with you taking deliberate action to do the things to become the person that you want to become. And then you go right into the renewals. And we'll tell you exactly how to position those packages, but you can either renew at the same time, but the much more attractive route is to convert them into a 6-month or a 12-month commitment EFT. This is how you build an amazing business that you don't have to worry about, guys. And it all starts with your high and mid-ticket offers. It all starts with those high and mid-ticket offers. Makes everything possible. This is as smooth as can be. Somebody who has championed this and helped shape this is one of our very first clients, Shannon Logan. What an amazing story of somebody who's implemented this framework. Okay. Volume, like I said, post-pandemic, it's tougher. It's harder to acquire people here. Leads are still decently cheap when you know what you're doing on Facebook. But the responsiveness of them, it's like pulling teeth to get them in the doors and to get them to show up for an appointment if you make it. It's very tough out there, okay? Now, Shannon had an 11,000 square foot facility. She had like 195 clients. She was doing around $30K a month, group and one-on-one. It wasn't as high as profit. She was a professional rep counter. She was stuck working in the business. After implementing this 4-step framework, she has been able to go over the past 2 years. She's been able to go to downsized to 4,000 square feet. She only works with 112 clients. So maybe what, 60% of what she used to, but look at her revenue. It's over doubled. And this month she's looking to break $70,000 in revenue. Okay. And she's got far fewer clients. And you have any idea what going from 11,000 square feet to 4,000 square feet does to your profit margins? And only having 112 clients to worry about while over doubling your revenue? It's crazy. It's crazy, guys. She does Stiller Group. Instead of one-on-one, she does our overlapping, but she has life-changing profit. And she is a badass. She does so much less work in the business than she used to. And she wants to spend that time with her gorgeous daughter and her husband, and she's able to. It's the coolest thing. And she recently sent me a text when she hit a milestone. She said, "This is the dream for my family when I joined PT Legends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You've literally changed the course of my life and the life of my family." She's won our Broken Record Award. She's gonna knock on our Platinum Record Award right now, which is amazing. And she'll get that as well. But what a great example of what you can do when you open your eyes up to a better way of doing it or an easier way of doing it. So, guys, that is the framework and exactly what I've done. This is exactly what I help so many others do in good areas, in bad areas, in the United States, in Canada, in Abu Dhabi, in Europe, all over the place. I can help you do this in your gym in 8 weeks, help you build, sell, fulfill, and renew these offers that can change everything for you. In 8 weeks, you can change everything, guys. And I want to leave you with this, okay? This framework is pretty simple to do. You can literally do it in 8 weeks. We've done it over and over and over. And so what I want you to do, you're watching this video, there's going to be a link below where you can actually book a call with a PT Legend. It's either going to be with myself or somebody on my team. And we're going to understand where your business is at. What are the constraints that are holding you back from achieving this level of freedom in your business with your time, your money, and your impact? And we'll look at those constraints and give you an idea of the roadmap that you would want to follow to break free of that and get unstuck no matter what level you're at. To get unstuck, whether you're at 20K or 50K, and you want to grow an extra 10, 20, 30K a month, there are ways that you can do that without muscling it. There are ways that you can do that by scaling your gym and working less to achieve those results. That's how you're going to earn your freedom. And so what I want you to do is book a call. I want you to book a call to hop on with me or somebody on my team. We'll understand your business, tell us about where you're at, and we'll take a look at what's constraining you, give you the solutions to those. And we can determine also at that same time if you would be a good fit for this program, for this framework to fit inside of your gym. It's not always, and that's okay. But at least you'll know where to go to start breaking free of these. But for most of you, the vast majority of this will work incredibly smoothly in your gym, no matter what your business model is. And we can talk about how we can help you do this in 8 weeks and forever change your life. So that's what I want you to do. I want to urge you to take action here. Okay. I know it's scary. You never want to hop on a call, and don't worry. This is not going to be a hard sales pitch here, guys. You don't have to worry. That is not who we are. That's not what you're not going to get a one-time offer. If you do this today, then, it'll be, we'll shave off 20%. That's not what you're going to get here. I do this because I love to do this. I am retired from my 6 gyms. I do this because I have been through the worst, and I get to help who I used to be a few years ago. And that is the most damn rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. And so the main thing I want you to know is that, guys, we're here in your corner. We have a lot of free resources that we can connect you to. And should you choose to work with us, I can promise you it's going to be the best thing you've ever done for your gym. So what I want you to do is book that appointment. I don't care if you're ready now. I want you to learn more and about the details of this to see if it could potentially be a fit now or in the future. And I opened it up with Robert Kiyosaki, right? In that cash flow quadrant, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The biggest risk a person can take is to do nothing. I know it's scary. I've been there. I dragged my feet for 6 years. It took me 6 years before I even worked with a coach. Because I got burned with a SEO guy. I got burned with this, and I was gun shy. And maybe it was ego. Maybe it was fear. Maybe it was me just like, I don't even think I have money to invest. But at the end of the day, once I started to do that, and I did it again and again and again and again, it opened up doors. I want you to skip years of turmoil, and spending tens of thousands of dollars on wasted programs and mentorships. This will work for you. So I want you to book that call right now. And we'll talk on the phone soon. So thank you guys for dedicating your time to listen to this, to hear my story, to see how this framework has impacted me and so many others around the world. Thank you, and look forward to chatting soon. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you are ready to start making an extra $10,000 a month or more this month by making more money with less clients and create a consistent flow of high-quality leads, you can learn about what it's like to work with me and how ridiculously affordable it is at CoachScottCarpenter.com. And if you got any value out of this episode, please pay it forward and leave a review for this show. It helps other gym owners find the answers to the huge problems that we all share. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.